We know Trump does plan to do is visit the Los Angeles communities devastated by the deadly wildfires later this week.
Tonight, I also want to send our love to everyone affected by the terrible wildfires raging in California. We're praying for you all. We love you all. We're going to be there very soon. I'm going to go out there on Friday to see it and to get it moving back. We're going to get some of the best builders in the world, and we'll get it moving back.
Trump has called out California Governor Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass for their cost-cutting decisions before the wildfires. At least 27 people have been killed. Thousands have lost their homes, and tens of thousands of residents still remain under evacuation orders. Strategist and pollster Justin Wallen is from the West Coast. He joins us now to discuss all the fallout from California's response to the fires and the state's shifting political landscape. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Jan. Thanks for having me.
You know, we've seen all that criticism of Newsom and of Mayor Bass, DEI policies and hirings there at the LA Fire Department. What do you think will be the future of Los Angeles? Will residents there in that very blue state, in that very blue area, reject some of these far-left politicians and policies?
Well, it's a big issue for the city, to some degree the county, certainly the state. Californians are starting to look at this as a governance issue. Californians, as you said, it's a very blue state. So are Californians bought into climate change? Yes, absolutely. They feel that these disasters are getting worse because of climate change. However, what's interesting to voters that I speak to is they view this as predictable. California's been on fire for thousands of years. The Santa Ana winds happen all the time. And you have two items that are important to fighting fires. One is fuel, the removal of brush, dry brush. That's important. That's a government job on government land. It's a private job on private land. And the other is water, which a lot has been said about the complexity of municipal water systems. This is true. Municipal water systems are complex, but fighting fires and the reason why hydrants go dry are due to two things. One is large reservoirs of water at the ready, and two is gravity. So ultimately, these are not complex items, and California is full of people who are capable of solving complex problems. This is where the aerospace industry was born. So Californians are fed up. They're not happy at all.
Well, and California has the largest electorate, so this is very important as we look at future presidential elections. We're already starting to see this large shift to the right among voters in California. Trump won areas that Biden previously won in 2020 and Clinton won in 2016. What do you think is driving this trend?
Largely degrees of pragmatism. I mean, Californians are affected by the same things that the rest of America is affected by, wildfires notwithstanding. The cost of things on their plates, the cost of housing, the cost of cars and energy and so forth. These things affect Californians, and it could be argued they affect them more proportionally because the other costs of living are so high, taxes are so high and so forth. Californians are starting to question, what am I getting for this? Yeah, the natural splendor of California is wonderful, but in terms of government services that affect most Californians, they're not seeing it. I mean, billions and billions and billions of dollars are being spent on homelessness, for example. Has there been a meaningful improvement? Not really, not from a statistical perspective. And largely, much of the efforts have been going towards things that don't really help. So when you look at the amounts of money that are spent on these massive problems that in some ways are becoming existential to the quality of life in California, Californians are looking around saying there's got to be a better way. And that's where we start to see this appetite. Again, very blue. It's not as if California is turning red, but you start to see an appetite for people for different approaches.
But you also are seeing Americans who are saying they don't want to pay for the bad policies of California leadership. And so that will be something to look at in the coming weeks, months, and years ahead. Strategist and pollster Justin Wallen, I know you're going to stay with us throughout the morning as we watch the inaugural festivities unfold this morning, so we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.